In this video, I'm going to be testing out Lisa Eldridge's Liquid Silk eyeshadows. I have 4 out of the 5 shades to share with you. I'm going to swatch them, I'm going to apply them to my very mature 70-year-old eyelids and see how they look. Hello and welcome, or welcome back. So I was really excited to try these eyeshadows because I am veering towards a one and done eye look, and in some of my recent videos you'll see that that's what I've been doing. And actually I did wear one of these eyeshadows in one of my recent videos, which I'll link down below for you. But I'm really drawn to the one and done idea, or in fact 2 and done, because I'm going to do a 2 and done as well as a 1 and done in this video. But I like the simplicity of them, I like the ease of application, and these particular eyeshadows are being sold to us as really eyelid smoothing. And those of us who are over 50, or in my case over 70 now, we have very wrinkly eyelids, and so the idea of having something that smooths your eyelid, that makes it less crepey and lasts all day, is a really great selling point. So as I said, I've got 4 shades to show you. I'm going to swatch them, but before I do that, I'm just going to mention that Lisa Eldridge, in her quest for a smoothing ingredient, she found something called Lapacho bark, and she does go into detail about it, which I'm not going to do now. I'll just link her video down below for you if you haven't seen it. But the idea of this ingredient is it helps to smooth the skin on your complexion, and particularly around the eyes. And she said that this ingredient has been used in under eye creams, so she thought it was worth a try to include it in the ingredients of these eyeshadows, and that's what she's done. So let me swatch them for you first. I'm going to put my glasses on to make sure I tell you which shades are which, and we'll go with the lighter ones first. So this one is Irene, and they are all named after Greek goddesses or Greek muses or nymphs. Now Irene, I've forgotten what nymph or goddess she is, but anyway, I'm going to swatch her for you. Now she is described as a light neutral pinky beige, and that's her there. And then this is Ione, and this is the one that I used in a recent video, and this is described as a cool mauve grey. Then we have a couple of deeper shades. Now I haven't got Phoebe, and I didn't get that because it was a camel shade, so I don't have Phoebe, but I do have Talia, and Talia is described as a deep rosewood. That's it there. And finally we have Gaia, and this is described as a golden brown. Now I think the idea of these shades as well was that they were going to mimic our skin tones. So obviously the deeper shades would be for the deeper skin tones and the lighter ones for the lighter skin tones. But of course you can use them on any skin, and as you can see, I think they look really, really beautiful. Now one of the reasons I was attracted to these eyeshadows, not just because they're lid smoothing and they're one and dones, but also because I loved Lisa's liquid Lurex from a few years ago. I think it was about 2 years ago that she brought them out, and I absolutely loved them, particularly a couple of shades. So I loved the idea of these being matte, because I don't always want to wear a shimmery eye. A shimmery eye is really more for evening for me, whereas mattes are definitely more wearable in the daytime, as well as of course in the evening. So without further ado, let me apply them on my eyelids. So I'll just get my hair out of the way. Now I've got nearly all my makeup on, and all the details of my makeup that I've got on will be down below in the description box, along with of course all these shades and all the links. Now Lisa says you can apply these with your fingers, but I am a bit cack-handed, so I'm not going to use my fingers, because I had a bit of a disaster recently where I used my fingers to apply the RMS tube of, I think it was called Eyelights eyeshadow, and I got a big blob stuck on my eyelashes and it almost went into my eye. So we don't want that to happen. So I think we're going to use a brush, and I'm going to use this BK Beauty brush, which is nice and small, and it looks similar to the brush that Lisa's used on her video. So I think it's probably safest to use a small brush where I can do my lid, and also if I do a 2 and done, I can then add the darker shade in the crease, but with a very light but precise application. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to apply Talia on this eyelid. Now I think there is time for you to blend before the eyeshadow sets. So let's see, I'm going to be very, very gentle, just stroking the brush really so that I don't get too much on. There, that was very gentle. I'm holding the brush quite far down because otherwise I have a tendency to go in all guns blazing and it's not very sensible. There, in fact, let me zoom you in so you can see better. There. Now that would be very nice for a one and done because then you could just put some mascara on and you'd be good to go. But I think, given how easy and quick that was, let's now go in with Talia and we'll put Talia, this is the deep rosewood, and we'll put Talia in the crease. Is that Talia? Yeah, it is. And we'll put Talia in the crease and I'm going to use the same brush, just take a tiny bit. And again, I'm going to hold the brush low down. I'm telling myself this as well as telling you because otherwise I know I won't do it. And I'm just going to put some here. I don't want to go too far up because when I was trying this out yesterday, I went far too much up above the crease and that really didn't look right at all. So I think if I gently pat it and then I can blend, just gently blend. Those colours go really nicely together, don't they? So we don't want to come too far up here because that always looks a bit odd, doesn't it? It's probably fine when I've got my fringe down and everything, but if I go like that, then people are going to think, oh, she's applied that a bit weirdly. Yeah, I think that looks really pretty. Now let's do the same on the other side and we'll start with Irene. So this one's the peachy beige. Just get a bit on my brush there and then gently apply. Such pretty shades, aren't they? This is probably a little bit lighter than my eyelid, although it's not far off. Let me just get a little bit more. I might have been a bit too, not quite generous enough. Let's pop a bit more on. Feels lovely on the lids, I must say. I think that shade is not that dissimilar to Painterly by MAC, isn't it? MAC Paint Pot. But I like the application of this and I think it's just slightly more interesting maybe in terms of colour. Maybe Painterly's a little bit more pinky. So that's Irene. Right, let's get Gaia now and we're going to put Gaia in the crease. Nobody puts Gaia in the corner. Dares, I don't know. Right, Gaia's going in the crease whether she likes it or not, but very gently as well. Gently Bentley, as my dad used to say. So she's going here. I've started to call my eyeshadows she. This is not good. I know a lot of YouTubers do it and I don't usually like it. I usually think, what do they mean she? It's an it. But see, I've started doing it now. This is what comes of being on YouTube for however many years I've been on it now. Okay. Yeah, I'm liking that. I'm liking that a lot. Well, so far so good, I think. Now, what I think I might do as well is just for finishing off the look is we'll use the deeper shade on this eye and on this eye underneath just to see how it looks and make it and sort of finish it off and amp it up a little bit. So let's do that. So I'm going to use this very tiny BK Beauty brush, absolutely wee. And Lisa uses a similar brush in her video. So let's do that, shall we, while we're at it. So we're going to go back in with Gaia. But we'll just take a tiny weeny bit on this brush here. I can barely see it, but I'll just be very gentle. Just to kind of, well, as Lisa said, sort of smoke it out. So I must remember this is the side with Gaia on it, isn't it? So let me do that. Actually, do you know what? I'm going to have to do this because I can't otherwise see what I'm doing. So let me pull my eyelid to the side. Sorry. Ooh, that's very gently. I may put a bit too much on. Let me get cotton bud just to smooth it out a little bit. Yeah, that just gives a little bit more interest, doesn't it? And I'll do the same with, what's the other side? The rosewood one. Talia, that's right. I'll do the other side with Talia. I think Talia and Ione are my favourites at the moment. I suppose because they're cooler shades, but I like them. There's nothing I like more than the deep rosewood. Right, sorry, I'm not going to put too much on. Let me just tap a bit off because I overdid it, I think, on the other eye. So let me do this eye now. There we are. Oops. Ooh, we've got a tiny bit of, what's this stuff there? Ooh. There we are. Well, I must say, I think those shades are really, really pretty. And as you can see, it looked fine as a one and done. And to amp it up a bit, we've done a 2-in-1 or maybe 3-in-1 or 2.5. Anyway, I'm going to go off camera now, put my mascara on, come back and we'll do a little review and round up. Right, I've got my mascara on. Let me zoom you in so you can get a good look at the finished article, as it were. So what do we think? Now, in terms of lid smoothing, I can't honestly say that it's made a massive difference to my elephant hidey eyelids. However, I really enjoyed applying them. It was easy, it was simple, particularly with that brush. That really helped, that small brush with a small head. You just need a light hand. Of course, you can use your finger as well, and you could probably use your finger to do the second shade if you wanted to. It's just that I'm just a bit cack-handed, and I'm always a little bit nervous, particularly when I'm filming myself, that I'm going to make a mess of it. So I think they are really lovely. Now, they're not exactly affordable. I think they're £26 or $28, something like that. All the details will be on the screen and down below in the description box. But if you are looking for a one and done eyeshadow, particularly a matte, because actually in the affordable range, it's difficult to find matte liquid eyeshadows. I had a good look around yesterday actually on the internet and I couldn't find any. However, my trip to New York, which is coming up soon, I might find some there, but certainly here I haven't been able to find any. In fact, I did find an e.l.f. one, but that was reduced to £18 from 20 something, so even that wasn't incredibly cheap. I think it was about that. So all that to say, if you are in the market for a matte liquid eyeshadow, I think these eyeshadows might be just the ticket. Now, what I'm going to do before I sign off is I will pop up some footage of me on my phone just to show you how this is worn today. I'm going out this evening, so I can't come back tonight because I'll be back too late to do a final check-in, but I will check in a few hours' time. I think it's about 11 now. So I'll insert some footage of me at about 4 o'clock this afternoon just so you can see how the eyeshadows have worn. Well, I have to say, it's looking pretty good. I can't see any creasing. I mean, that looks more or less like it did when I applied it 6 hours ago, which is quite something because I usually get some kind of creasing on my lid. So yeah, I'm pretty impressed with that. What do you think? So let me know in the comments, have you bought the eyeshadows yet? Are you tempted to buy them? Have you looked around YouTube to see who else has been reviewing them? I'm sure you have, just as I have. And are you thinking of taking the plunge? Let me know. And if you've enjoyed this video, especially if you're new to my channel, I'd be so grateful if you'd consider subscribing. It means the world to me, it really does. And of course, give me a thumbs up if you've enjoyed it and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time I upload a video, which I am doing on a Wednesday and a Sunday. And if you'd like to hear more from me, I have a monthly newsletter and the link to subscribe to that is in the description box below. And in that, I don't just talk about beauty, fashion and lifestyle, but I also talk about books, podcasts, film, TV, and all the other bits and bobs that enhance our lives. And now YouTube is going to pop up a couple of videos that they think you might enjoy. And thanks again so much for watching. You are making an old broad very happy by watching and of course subscribing if you'd like to do that. And I look forward to seeing you on my next video. Bye!